right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. On first down, Akers. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now a give right side. Akers. Nifty move. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try the left side. Akers. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. On first down, Mahomes. That'll be complete to Breida. 7 yards on the play, and it's a second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, first and 10, as they're down to the 29-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point forthcoming. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Carr now on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. 56 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carr now to throw. And And this is caught inside the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the up.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now here's Mahomes. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. To throw, it's Carr. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, Akers. Makes it across the 25 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's caught by OBJ. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Yellow, yellow. 180, 59, Mike to 59. Hey, 43, 15.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Mahomes now to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Akers. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. They'll run on first down. Akers. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. But I'm not sure this is going to stand.
Yellow. 180. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Mahomes firing complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. This is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. Finding some room at midfield. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Mike Evans, as the first half is winding down. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
Let's see if that script is a good one for him. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A first down carry for Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. And it'll bring up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Carr. And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
What a big run there to get out from the shadow of their own end zone. The defense is probably thinking, hey, let's pin them deep. Not the case.
You're exactly right. When I played, we used to have a defensive coordinator in these situations who would call the defense and tag onto it, get a safety, push them back. And sometimes you overcommit on defense, and it worked against them in this play. Offense worked it out very, very well.
They go play fake. Mahomes completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Mahomes going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Check three. Alert 3.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On play action, it's Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On third down, Akers. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Attack!
Throwing on second and 14. Mahomes. And it's caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 6, now second and 4. Again, it's Barkley. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. The Giants on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is called. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Carr going to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 17 yards and a giant first down. On first and 10, here's Carr. Finds his tight end Ingram. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. To throw, it's Carr. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 51 yards. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. I'm sure the message as they come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
Yeah, it would be a pretty amazing comeback, but we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. And they'll try the jet sweep here, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. On second down now, Akers, room to run past midfield. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Mike Evans, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. To throw again, Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions, and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Carr will get this out to Barkley complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Carr going to go on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. So with that knee, they take care of business in the divisional round. They'll be back here at home next weekend. One more hurdle to get to the big show.
The good feelings, they just keep coming. They get to ride that wave for at least one more week because they have their big prize in their eyes, and that's getting into the Super Bowl. But they have to win next week after winning this one.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.